twisting, turning. That's a penalty, is it? No, he's still going. Oh, how about that? How about that?
Two friends, two minds, and one love for Arsenal Football Club. You are now listening to the Caught in Two Minds podcast.
Meanwhile, Shelly weaves his way through.
Yeah. Whatever.
Come tumbling down when the walls.
Little John Cougar Mellencamp, huh? Look at
Anything.
The life of a West Coast Arsenal fan, you know.
Oh, you know
what's been going on. Anyway, welcome to the podcast. Cotton Two Buys, E. Marshall, Fitz, Guna Rush, chilling. He's inside today, ladies and gentlemen. So you know what that means. You know, we got our ass kicked. Yeah, man. Before we get into it, man, what's been going on? You okay? You know?
Well, I decided to tie one on for the first time in a long time last night.
Oh, wow.
And went and sat at the bar with a couple buddies and drank. And you want to get one more? You want to let's get one more. All right, we'll get one more. All right, yeah. And it was a few beers in when I looked at my phone and realized the game starts at 4:30 here. 4:30 in the morning, folks.
Right. You got to be disciplined.
And somebody didn't wake up until 5:30.
What time did you get in?
I mean, I didn't get in that late, probably 9:30, 10 o'clock latest.
Oh, that's how you know we're old. Shit,
we're
talking about
old man drinking.
Right.
Started at 5.
By now. Wow, that's a trip. So you went out like Pepe today. You weren't feeling good, and you just.
Is that what happened to him? I didn't hear.
Yeah, it's not COVID, but he wasn't feeling good. So the lineup.
He could have made the whole difference.
Yeah, right. Anyway, complete mess. Arsenal lose. What was it? 5? I lost count. Yeah, 5-0 away to City. A man sent off. Would you be able to guess who that man was that got sent off? Yeah, I know. Always. It's like he's trolling us at this point. It's like he's just
I was telling you when I was behind. And then I realized it's not even on the regular television, so it wasn't going to be on my DVR.
Because it's on Peacock, and they got some
I had to go to Peacock, and you got to select the game.
Right.
And it takes you live until you can reset it to the beginning.
Until you rewind
immediately, I saw 3-0 Arsenal 10 men and our boy, Xhaka, red card.
Yeah, so.
No surprises, right?
Nah.
If somebody was going to get one, it's Xhaka.
Oh yeah, just brutal. It sucks. You had to get up at 5:30 in the morning to watch that, but this is what we do.
Man,
the game. This is my favorite. Arsenal were on the front foot in the first 5 minutes. They always say the same shit. Like, yeah, we're the best at starting off a game, the first 5 minutes of the game. Yeah, we look like we're going to do something. And then immediately
sink back.
Immediately. Like, we give up a goal within 10 minutes of the game. Immediately. And everybody, me, the announcers, everybody's like, oh, wow, we look pretty good today. And within 10 minutes, we're losing 1-0. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I don't even understand. It's so weird. How could Man City dominate us through the air?
With fools that are like 5'9", Gudigan and even Raheem got his head on one when he came in the game.
And all good chances, clear from a defender, had a chance to put it. It's like I don't understand.
It's very strange. Chambers didn't, I guess he,
didn't have.
It was a great cross, and Leno got beat on his near post again, but it was tough. It was whatever. He's still good, especially that's why we didn't do a podcast after the EFL Cup, because I didn't want to come in here and be all hyped. Yeah, 6-0, even though it was against West Brom, because we're a mess. We're a mess, and people don't want to blame Arteta. But if you watch that Chelsea-Liverpool game, I just got done watching it. They were a man down at halftime. The coach got his team in the locker room. They got organized, and they went out there and fought away at Anfield against a bunch of crackheads and got a draw. They did what they had to do.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And if the shoe was on the other foot, like we can't even – if we go down a goal, he has never been able to turn it around in the second half. That's the sign of coaching and adjustments and tactics. These little things, like it's highlighted, But I read on my Twitter feed, people still defending this guy. It's not his fault. It's their Kronk. It's just so many excuses. Anyway, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I'm going to use that segue to just say, everything is spoiled in the soup, man. It's just
tainted.
The whole team is just not in a good place.
Doesn't look like they're playing for him, that's for sure.
So it sure doesn't. It sure doesn't even look like they're real. It is a point where, you lose the locker room. Everybody knows this term, and it's happened, I think, personally.
Unai late, before Unai got fired, that month or so before, it looked like, fools were done with him too. So,
yes.
Anyway.
But we can talk about the specifics of this game, but it's really not the point today. It's really like the state of the team. What's up? I hate to rehash things because I know other Arsenal fans get so sensitive about it. Just forget Ozil. It's over. But Ozil marks a point on this team. He marks a point on this team where we definitely came out to the world as a neurotic club that can't manage their personnel and their decisions.
Who to give a big contract to, who not to. Somebody's over the age of 30, they usually don't get, unless they're world beaters, $200,000 a week. We just signed William, whatever. No big deal. Aubameyang's 31. He's still good, but it's little shit like that. I got you. And everything's fine with Ozil up until, Arteta gets there, and then for some reason it can't work out. The same thing with Guendouzi, Torreira,
even Emery tried to discipline him once, he sat him for a couple games, but he never abandoned the idea that I have a guy that I'm paying $300,000 a week to. I can't do nothing about it and get other guys to come into the squad because that money's so I'm going to play him.
Right. But what time. I'm not
going to be a stubborn asshole that's going to hold a grudge against unless it's beyond him. But you know what? I don't know if I even accept the job if Ozil's on the squad, but you're telling me coming in the door that you can't play him.
Right.
It's already telling me about the upper echelon of this club that I don't know if I'm truly going to get supported anyway.
Right. You know what you're getting with Ozil. It's not he's not running around being an asshole. If it's a style of play, okay, great. Try to sell him or do whatever. But the man management.
Put the 3-word tweet out today, and he was trending. He was trending at one point because everybody noticed it. It's trust the process, which was, in case I can remind everybody, Arteta's answer to why aren't you playing Ozil like a year and a half ago.
Right.
And I watching all the players, and I am playing the best 11 that I believe that we could put on the pitch and blah, blah, blah. And those will never saw the light of day again. And I don't care if it's the management or if it's, but that just started the problems with his stubbornness or his thin skin. But the Guendouzi situation turned ugly.
Torreira.
The Torreira thing turned bad.
Aubameyang, I don't care what anyone says, it's bad. Laka, look at the players.
I mean, even guys like Kolasinac,
blockhead.
Like he was somebody that's really important to our squad, but you definitely turned him off of even having any desire for this squad. So
Mustafi was playing good for a little bit under him too.
Yeah,
just like Maitland-Niles was. All of a sudden, when he first got there and he needed them, they won the FA Cup. Anyway, man management, tactics. You can't. Sure, we don't have great players, currently because a lot of our team is injured. But you can't tell me that this organization, the tactics, like he tried to switch up the formation today because like you always say, he's listening. Everybody's like, hey, what are you doing? 3 at the back. Come on, switch it up. So he switches it up today, and we still got our asses handed to us. But let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you, I'm going to play a game with you. It's called The Voice of Reason. I want you to be the voice of reason right now, and then I'll chime in with mine.
Okay.
And then we're going to do the voice of panic. But I want to. Which one you want to start with? Voice of panic or voice of reason?
Let's be positive. We'll be positive. Voice of reason.
Go ahead.
Voice of reason.
All right, go ahead.
Whatever you believe Arteta's ability is in the future as a manager. So maybe that's why people want to stick with him, because they believe they got somebody that does get it.
Okay.
I guess it's a positive if Pep Guardiola says, this guy's a good manager. He knows what he's doing. Oh, thank you, Pep.
Right.
When I think Pep maybe just doesn't want him to be knocking on his door to come back to his staff. I don't think he wants Arteta around.
He's a buzzkill, but go ahead.
But the voice of reason is listen, we're a club that got rid of Arsene Wenger. And everybody was in agreement that he just lost the plot and things have just gone bad and it's too much and it's gone out of his hands and he can't save this. We got to move on.
Right.
I don't understand why or how it could be a hard decision to understand that Arteta's just not really grasping what it takes.
You're the voice of reason, and you're still whooping up fucking Mark. No, but I got you. My voice of reason is this. Look, we got a lot of players out. Our central defense pairing is not what we have in mind. It's so hard. We don't have a full team. Partey, one of our major signings last year, he's out. See how hard it is to be the voice of reason? It's so much easier to be the voice of panic or distress. But, he just hasn't had a full team with his full players all available at the same time to come in and play. This off season was rough for him because of the Euros, then the Olympics. You got players coming in. So, does he deserve a little time? Sure. The voice of reason would say with all these little things, sure, But that Norwich game on September 11th, I mean, that's a 6-pointer right there. We got to beat them. We're on the bottom of the table with them. So, voice of panic. Let me hear it.
The management.
This is easy.
The management, the coach, and the fans are delusional.
There's a lot
on what Arsenal really is. Pride, their pride for their club can be unmatched, and I respect it. And it's my club too, and I love them.
Right.
I love Arsenal, and I'm always going to root for them. But I'm reasonable. We are
You're doing the voice of reason right now.
We are a hopefully mid-table team, and that's where we have to keep our. That is reason, huh? I'm actually doing more reason. That's where we have to keep our heads.
Right.
Is that stop comparing ourselves to, Chelsea and blah blah blah, because we don't spend like them.
Right.
Our management is so indecisive. The way they just tug and pull on transfer decisions and play with it, and maybe we're gonna, and all these other teams just sign players or make a decision that this player didn't work out and let him walk and just send him on its way.
Yeah. I mean, 134 million we spent more than anybody, I think.
Well, it was until Ronaldo.
Okay.
Whenever Ronaldo comes.
And I would agree with you. Before I do my voice of panic, let me just say this. What if like what happened to Bellerin? What happened to him under Arteta? And all that bullshit, trust the process. We love this guy. He's a great. What happened to him? Now let's say he got his shit together and we got Bellerin at right back, Ben White, Gabriel, Tierney, Partey, Lokonga, Xhaka, Pepe, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, whichever one you want to put in, Aubameyang. That's a strong team, But can the manager tactically get the best out of this team? I don't think so. And I think that's what people are missing. Look at the form of certain players since Arteta's been there. You can almost see it, and I hate to say it, but you can almost see it in Tierney now. He's losing form. He's not the same guy he was last year as far as his form. Look at even Chambers. Last year we were kind of not singing his praises, but man, he's a nice, solid right back. He's good enough. He's good enough to fill in there. Look at him. Look at Xhaka. His form. It's just, he goes away to Euros and international. He's lauded. He comes back to Arsenal and he's just dog shit. That's what I'm seeing. Look at Aubameyang. Look at Laka. It's like this guy's a vampire, dude. And he's sucking the life out of his players. He's just sucking the life. Anyway.
Yeah, to me, it's what's crazy is the whole feeling
it's obvious.
Of trying to say like our strikers aren't getting it done or something when they don't get balls. They don't get balls. Like people were like, "Oh, I was really hoping Balogun really would have showed up for that game and really shown that he's ready to stay." Dude, he didn't get balls. Like you can't tell somebody like, "Dude, how come you didn't perform when you didn't even fucking get the ball?"
Sucking the life out of his players. He's a vampire. Everybody's form is slowly going to dog shit. And I don't know whether it's training, tactics, or they're just done with this guy. They see through it. They've heard him. He sounds great. But then they're like, oh, okay, this guy's a bullshitter. You know what I mean? Like we see through it now. And that's what I'm sensing. I saw ESR's head drop a couple times during the game, like, this is some bullshit. Or Xhaka, who's breaking his neck trying to do something. Look at Pepe. Look at his form. Look at everybody's form is just going down.
Dog shit everywhere you look.
Everywhere you look. And people will always say, hey, man, it's the players. He doesn't have the squad he needs. And that's when, remember the first game of the season, that's when I throw in it on Edu. and Arteta, because it's not like Ed Dude's just like, fuck it, I'm not going to listen to Arteta. I'm going to go pick some players and sign them. It's they're collaborating, and I'm sure Arteta's signing off on the decisions he's making.
Sure.
But they're all awful. I mean, the best players we have were developed in the academy, except for Tierney. That was Tierney, Xhaka, ESR, as far as promising, Anyway,
it's such a sad state of affairs, man, and it's like, I mean,
yeah. It's what can you say?
I mean, what did Man U go through when Sir Alex was done? Four managers before is this their fourth or maybe fifth manager since Sir Alex? I mean, it's
Van
just,
Hall.
like I said, once again, the club is so indecisive with their decisions on how they want this club to be run,
right,
that they don't pull the trigger on things.
Right.
Like they let it drag out. How many players have we watched go into a last year and just walk off the club for free?
Kroenke doesn't care as long as he's making money, and he doesn't know about football. So that's fine. That's fine. You can just be the checkbook and give whoever money. But because they don't know and understand about football, they hire people like Edu and Arteta. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and they conned him basically into getting the job. Maybe it was because it was the right price and you didn't have to spend a lot of money for a big time manager. And you can, what do they call that? Revamp the team, start over, save money, hopefully overachieve like the Wenger years and get the fourth and just keep breaking in that money for the Rams and whoever other teams you own. But that's not going to work anymore. Everybody, all the big clubs have their shit together from top to bottom, and like you said, man, there was a time when they didn't have their shit together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the Glaciers bucked up and were like, all right, okay, fuck. We'll give you guys some money and we'll get this shit back. Kroenke hasn't done that yet. Even the Liverpool group, or the Boston Red Sox group that bought Liverpool.
Yep.
There was a time where they were struggling. They finally got in Klopp and started making the right signings and they cleaned their shit up. Kroenke still hasn't come to that conclusion to clean up his act and get this shit rolling.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess, one of the best things that made Wenger great was that he worked the business end of it too.
Well, because he thought that was his money.
He treated it like it came out of his pocket.
Right.
He loved that about him. But one of the things I would say that he was very good at too is just his demeanor and rapport with potential signings was very good.
Right.
And
they wanted to play for him.
Convinced guys that I want to go and play for this guy. And I believe the only thing Arteta does that the Kroenkes like is talk to players in some way that is magical. He's talked Xhaka, ESR, Martinelli. Martinelli ain't even playing, and he signed a long-term contract.
Right.
So that if there's something that Arteta does, it's not for us, the fans' enjoyment or performance on the pitch, but it is for the Kroenkes. They love his negotiating.
Even the people that still want him at the club. Like he has them fooled. Trust the process. He's going to be great. What are you basing it on?
What is that based on?
Like, gosh, you're basing it on the way he speaks and how clever he sounds. He's the smartest guy in the room, and I'm just going to stick with this guy. But come on, go ahead.
I'll give even a little bit more history about trust the process. So that's a hijacked term from the 76ers GM. Who used that back when he was rebuilding his team. But the thing that kind of made his legitimate, even though the Sixers still haven't done it, and I think that guy's gone now, but the thing that made it legitimate was that the guy had experience. He had been doing this GM job for a long time, so he was kind of telling everybody, like, just look at my record and I'll get the ship righted.
Right.
You can't look on Arteta's what is it? What's Arteta's record for us to look on and say, see, I know he has the right vision.
Or
how do we know this?
Right.
He
talks a good game, dude, and people buy it. He looks clever. He sounds clever. In the beginning, I was like, okay, well, shit, you sound like you know what you're doing. Let's see it. Was my approach.
Yeah.
Because who in their right mind? Like, what kind of I tweeted out the audacity or the ego to be like, sure, I'll take that job, even if they came and asked me. I'm like, I've never been a head coach before. Well, I'm gonna go take Arsenal's job.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm cool. I'll go coach another team and maybe build them up. Build up my resume, like what Gerard's doing with Rangers or what Lampard did with whatever the team was, and the team Rooney's coaching now in the championship. I can't remember, but yeah, even Rooney. You know what I mean? It's like, you go somewhere, you build up your coaching credentials, your coaching resume, you get some experience, and then maybe if you've earned it, you take a big job. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Arteta's like, nah, I got this, man.
Well, I know. How about
doing.
this too? If you're gonna go this route, a guy that hasn't been, with a connection to the club because he played there and stuff, just go hire Thierry Henry then, or Bergkamp, or Vieira. I mean, guys that were better players than you.
And a legend, and real
the game even more than you are,
and real club legends,
Because
if Henry was the head coach and we performed like this today, I'd still be like, hey man, I love Henry. Look at him, he looks so cool.
This sucks and it's sad.
Look how cool he looks over there, though. You know what I mean?
They'd be like, hey, this really sucks and it's sad because we'd feel bad for Henry.
Right.
But with Arteta, everybody's like, man, fuck this guy, man. Come on, dude.
He's it sucks because he's going to take this experience when he does get fired and he's going to move on to another team. He'll get another chance because he's a silver-tongued bastard. He could, he can talk to you and get a job. But he's going to grow from this and become a better manager. And 5 or 10 years down the road, he'll be doing an interview talking about, I really learned a lot from my experience at Arsenal. It'll be one of those situations.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get into some stats since he's been there. 10 red cards since 2019. And a pat on the back for Xhaka as he leaves the field today. Hey, good job, buddy. Way to fuck us. I don't know. Was it a sarcastic pat on the back? Who knows? But if he thought that was an okay challenge in today's, football, then that says a lot right there. Like if you thought that was a good challenge, enough to pat him on the back as he's leaving.
And Andy passionately watched the replay with his assistant,
arguing,
and was screaming and pointing,
disagreeing.
That's not a foul. That's not a foul.
Right. Now. I'm getting back into the game, but who was that? Chambers got the shit slapped out of him on the that was the second goal
by
Rodri. One of those
Torres, was it?
I think it was Rodri.
Oh, okay.
But
yes.
Yeah, he got the shit slapped out of him. I don't know. He did get the shit slapped out of him. And the guys, and it was a goal and it was in a box. In today's world of VAR and replays, they don't give those goals. But you know what? You could tell Atkinson's was going to screw him the whole game, dude. You know what I mean? He looked like he had an agenda today. The way he was reffing, and then that no call. He gave Cedric a card on a yellow card, like a weird one. Like he kind of just tugged him a little bit.
It wasn't all that.
And then when he was running up to Xhaka, he had a yellow in his hand.
Right.
And then he switched it. Once he realized it was Xhaka, he switched it to red. But Atkinson's VAR, we can't catch a break.
Yep.
We really can't.
Hey, after a little bit of time,
Yeah.
People forget the specifics of the red card, and you just have red cards on your name.
Right.
And at some point, I'm telling you, because I'm a fan of the Warriors and Draymond Green, and I've watched it with a million players in American sports.
Rasheed Wallace.
Once you build the reputation of you're an asshole, or you don't know how to tackle, or you're overly aggressive when you get frustrated, refs are going to just start. You're just going to start seeing them more and more, man.
All the more reason why you can't make a challenge like that based on your reputation.
Yes.
Based on every year in a big game at a crucial moment within the season for Arsenal and their young players, you're the leader, you're one of the veterans, you get sent off. How many times does this happen? It happens a lot. But you still got people on my Twitter feed talking about Xhaka like, he's a boss. And it's just like, how many times has he done this to us? We weren't going to win. People always say, oh, what do you expect? We're going to beat Chelsea and then City. No, that's not the point. Having your shit together,
Dude,
during the game is what matters.
So weird with this guy. He's like a weird. It's such a weird situation. A guy that's undisciplined and has a problem controlling his emotions, flipping the crowd off. But then he gets made captain.
On a case,
One
foot out the door.
Leaving. He says he's happy to leave. He's talked to Jose Mourinho.
1 foot out the door. 1 foot out the door. Ready to leave.
Now we re-signed him for 4 more years or something?
1 foot out the door. Because I think we wanted 20 million and somebody was anyway, it was
17. Roma got up to 17 million that they would offer, and we said no because we won 20.
Because your boy Edu. Look at me. I'm gonna stop. But Leno, right on time. Just when things are going downhill, he gets beat on his near post from how many yards is that? About 20 yards out, beat on his near post. Ramsdale, on Wednesday, he looked like he's gonna be the exact type of keeper we need, somebody tough, rough and tumble. His communication was good. The back line didn't look all shaky and shit. And he was handling his business. So you make a statement to Leno today. You make a statement. You play Ramsdale, and you base it on form. Whoever's playing good is going to be my keeper. I don't give a fuck. It's how I would have played that. But, he's already screwed that up now, People will say Leno, he made some great saves in the second half, but the game was over. So
it's sad the way when you watch Man City just dominate us.
The ease in which they played it out the back.
They're not even trying. There's no extra effort. They're so smooth with the ball.
I got that sense too.
Spacing is so important to Pep's game. If as long as everybody is spaced into their little spots, you can't take the ball from us. Is their whole point, Unless you run up our back or foul us.
They pass the ball. They pass the ball quick. Edison, or whatever his name is, he made some loose passes. He almost gave up a goal, but Pep was like, cool with it. Like, okay, yeah, this is what we do. You know what I mean? And then on I think it was the second or third goal, just the ease in which they played it out from the back, dude. He made a beautiful long pass on the ground to the middle to the midfielder, way up the pitch, on the ground.
Yeah.
Just passed it right to him. They turned around, went on a little break, and scored a goal. But the ease in which they played it out from the back, the speed, everything, how are we playing it out from the back?
I mean, that's how you can see that, I got to see this new Man U team to really understand exactly how they're going to play and what's theirs. But like Chelsea and Liverpool that you watched today, it's the only thing that's the only way you can play to possibly try to beat Man City. You got to play fast. You got to get rough and tumble with them. When you get a chance to bump them and hip them and put a forearm in their back, you got to do it. Like you have to.
Rudiger and Christensen aren't your, they don't play like Virgil van Dijk. They're not smooth and cool with the ball, but they will fight you to the death.
Yeah.
Like nobody's
we
business.
almost caught Rudiger a couple times in our game.
Right.
But man, watching him scramble back, how hard he works to get back in
quick, all those fools. The whole team will fight you to the death.
Yeah.
And we just don't have that right now anywhere on the pitch. Nowhere on the pitch. And that's a mentality, and that's installed, by your manager.
To me, that is the hint. We already said it, but that's the hint that he's losing the locker room, because I don't believe that some of these guys don't have fire in their belly. They do.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start getting discouraged and uninspired by what's going on, you can lose the fire, and that's just being a human, man. That's just who you are. Like,
when you come to the realization that you've been duped,
yes.
Like you bought it when you bought into a process, or you trusted a process, and then you're hanging out with this guy more and more, and you're starting to see like, oh, okay, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Like, holy shit.
Yes.
We're screwed.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's what I see from the players. Like, they're like, oh, the light bulb went off. Like, we're screwed. Yeah. This guy can't get us out of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, hopefully he can. How long do you give him? I'm sure the board, Edu, I'm sure they don't even have a plan if they decide to get rid of him. So, I'm kind of like, let's wait and see. Maybe he gets his players back and they start playing for him. But, it's not looking good.
My only problem with that wait and see for that is I'm just hoping that
the international break's coming. It's a good time to do it now.
I would legitimately give him, a 5-game thing once I considered that you've got your players.
Right.
But this is soccer, so there's gonna be some players that
I hear you.
You're gonna get Partey back, and you're gonna get somebody else back, but we're gonna also lose. Saka's gonna go down with an injury, or Tierney always goes down. Or
I hear you though. That's a good idea, because Kolasinac is out there. You know what I mean? You want to be hard on him, and then you think like, wow, Kolasinac is out there, and we've been trying. I thought we bought out his contract, and he was going his way to Fenerbahce, but that fool's playing games now. Like that's the shambles. You know what I mean? Those are the little things. And you got Chambers out there, who's not he's a squad player. So you're right. When he gets his, if he's able to get a full fit squad, then 3 or 5 games.
Well, I'm saying that, but I'm also saying,
I know. People
we can't keep giving them an excuse like your squad's still not fit. It's still not fit. It's still not fit. Like at some point, we got to call it like, okay, you know what? You got your 2 best CDMs, you got your 2 center backs back, and you got a striker. I want to see some action. Like, let's make it happen, or else. Like,
no, I hear you. I would get rid of him now. I just talked all that shit.
I would have no problems if they made a decision this week. I would have no problems with it.
But I don't trust the people to hire the next coach, and I know they don't have a plan. So that's the only
Freddie Ljungberg back in.
So that's the only reason. That's the only reason why I say, hey, you fools don't have your shit together. I don't want you hiring another coach without sitting down with a damn analytics group. Somebody sit down with some consultants and figure out what you're gonna do, because they don't know.
I think really put Freddie in temporarily while you're doing your search, because he knows all these kids. All these kids played with Freddie.
Anyway, 1 shot on goal.
Yes.
No. 1 shot. No shots on target.
Yeah.
25-1 with a man down. And I'll go back to it. Chelsea against Liverpool at Anfield,
Yep.
They fought.
Yep.
Their coach made adjustments. It's the exact same scenario against a harder team. Well, I don't know if it's harder, but the environment maybe, because Man City looked like they were just on a stroll, like a little training session, just out there having a good time, playing it out from the back. But I mean, the same scenario.
It's so
Chelsea's away at Anfield. They go down a man, give up a penalty, go down a man, and they hung on for a draw.
Yep.
We went on to get destroyed.
Yep. They basically, they let Lukaku go hang low, and everybody else go back, and we're going to try to see if we can hit them.
There was always a little threat because, like you said, they had Lukaku lurking, but Virgil was a cool, smooth motherfucker.
He's so smooth. He's so happy to be back.
I mean, Maury looked like, I don't know what kind of defense he was playing, but there was never a point when Lukaku had his back on Virgil.
Right.
Virgil played it the smart way and just, like a matador, stayed off him when he got it. Anyway, just basic shit. You know why? You know why he played him like that? Because his damn coach told him to play him like that.
His coach said, "Hey, this is how you play a guy like this.
His back is very big. You have to, you know what I mean?" He came at him like that, gave him a little.
No, let him get the ball. It's okay to let him get the ball. What's not okay is to let him put his back on you. Don't let him do that. You don't want him to know where you're at. Sneak up on him. Blitzkrieg. I just hope that we don't have to play Man City for 8 more months or something. And I just want to reiterate how frustrating it is to watch a bunch of people running around like
aimlessly.
Raheem Sterling has taught all these guys how to run too. Like they all run like him now. Everybody stands up tall with their shoulders pinned back, and they keep their head up, and they just passes up over the top, around the edge. I mean, they make it look so easy. I'm done with you, Man City.
Like Velma. Y'all run like Velma. No, the youngsters don't know about Velma. Anyway. So let me get this last little bit out. One of the perks of playing against Pep for Arteta's sake is that he took it easy on us in the second half. Could have got really bad, and they really did take it easy on us. And shout out to him and shout out to Edson for giving us hope in the first half. Wow, he made 2 huge mistakes. Yeah. And anyway, the team is not looking good. I don't know. So on that note, 5-0 loss. We got the international break coming up. Perfect timing. Whoo!
I tell you what, transfer market wise, y'all, we got a few days left. And I'll remind you guys about an 8-2 trouncing by Man U right before the market was up, and we went and bought 4 players in the last 3 days.
Per being one of the highlights in that one.
Per Mertesacker was the one that got us all fired up.
Right.
Dude, he's a national, man. He plays for the country and everything.
Right. Smooth. Talk about smooth, huh?
But
no, I hear you. It's
so I got a feeling they may try to make one more move. I don't know. Who knows?
I think we're done making moves because Kroenke's like, come on, 134 million. I mean, why am I going to give you more money?
A smart guy would say that.
He doesn't want to spend any money anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's probably pissed that he put in 134. But if we don't if we don't get this right back situation figured out, we got all these raggedy ass right backs on this team. We can't, either you sit down with Maitland Niles and be like, look, dude, you're going to play right back. I don't care what you want to do, or Bellerin, get your head out of your ass. Somebody. We need a right back bad, and I would take anybody who could create a chance. Anybody. Anybody. And some would say a striker, but I think if Aubameyang gets service, man, he will score 20 goals. Don't you think? If he gets service?
I'll just leave this as my last note to everybody for today.
Okay.
I still believe Aubameyang should be playing off the corner, not down the middle.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'll say that. Yeah. And so
I really believe that. And with the team we have, Lacazette has to play striker, but in my opinion. But that, you know who's odd man out, who I'm worried about losing is ESR.
Right.
We went and got Odegaard. Okay, so now what's it mean? Odegaard's going to end up on the sheet more than ESR. ESR is not getting his time. He just signed a contract. He's going to start getting grumpy. They gave him the number 10 shirt, and then they signed a guy to put in front of him.
Right. He got pushed out wide to the left, and Odegaard was more in the center. And Odegaard, he's a tidy footballer, but he's not blowing my socks off, not just yet. He does some decent. Like I said, he's solid. He's solid. But I mean, we need athleticism in that midfield. We need, fools with speed, people that can pick up. We need a lot of shit. We're done. I'm not talking anymore about Arsenal. We're gonna head into Tuesday is the transfer deadline day, and who knows? Maybe we do something. But on that note, another shitty weekend, and peace out. Peace out.
Peace out, everybody.
Twisting, turning. That's a penalty, is it? No, he's still going. Oh, how about that? How about that?
Thank you for tuning into Caught in Two Minds. Please head on over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and review. All feedback is much appreciated. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at CITM Podcasts, at Guna Rush, and at eMarshall Comedy. The music of this podcast is brought to you by Statics. If you like what you hear, please head on over to staticsmusic.com and be sure to follow them on Twitter and Instagram at Statics Music. That's STATX Music. Peace.